Boris Johnson, whose full name is Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson, was born on June 19, 1964, in New York City, United States. His father, Stanley Johnson, is a writer and former politician, while his mother, Charlotte Johnson Wall, was a talented artist. Boris came from a well-educated and politically active family. His early years were spent in different countries, including the United States, Belgium, and the United Kingdom, due to his father's work with the European Commission. This international upbringing gave Boris a broad worldview and a flair for languages and culture. Johnson received his early education at Eton College, one of Britain's most prestigious schools, where he quickly stood out for his intelligence, wit, and eccentric personality. After Eton, he attended Balliol College, Oxford, where he studied classics. During his time at Oxford, he became president of the Oxford Union, showcasing his remarkable debating skills and natural leadership qualities. His charisma and sharp humor earned him admiration and recognition among peers and professors alike. After completing his studies, Boris Johnson began a career in journalism. His first job was with The Times, but he was dismissed for fabricating a quote. Nevertheless, he soon joined the Daily Telegraph, where his writing style, humor, and bold opinions gained him wide popularity. He became known for his witty and often controversial articles, many of which criticized the European Union. In 1999, Johnson became the editor of The Spectator, one of the UK's leading magazines, and under his leadership, its readership and influence grew significantly. Boris entered politics in 2001 as a member of Parliament for the Henley constituency, representing the Conservative Party. His distinctive speaking style, humor, and ability to connect with people made him a rising star within the party. Though his unconventional behavior sometimes drew criticism, it also made him one of the most recognizable figures in British politics. In 2008, Boris Johnson was elected Mayor of London, defeating Labour's Ken Livingstone. As mayor, he launched several major projects, including the Boris Bikes, cycle hire scheme, and the Emirates airline cable car. His leadership during the 2012 London Olympics further boosted his reputation, with many praising his enthusiasm and ability to bring energy to the city. His 2 terms as mayor, 2008-2016, transformed London's infrastructure, though some critics argued that his projects were expensive and lacked long-term planning. After leaving City Hall, Johnson returned to Parliament and became one of the most prominent figures in the campaign for Britain to leave the European Union. As one of the key leaders of the Vote Leave campaign during the 2016 Brexit referendum, he played a decisive role in shaping public opinion. His powerful speeches and populist appeal resonated with millions of voters, and the eventual Leave victory established him as one of the most influential political figures of his generation. Following Theresa May's resignation in 2019, Boris Johnson became the leader of the Conservative Party and, subsequently, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. His main promise was to get Brexit done, and after a decisive general election victory in December 2019, he successfully led the UK out of the European Union. For his supporters, this was his defining achievement, fulfilling the will of the people and restoring national sovereignty. However, his time as Prime Minister was not without controversy. The COVID-19 pandemic tested his leadership severely. While his government implemented lockdowns and support schemes, it also faced criticism for delayed responses and inconsistent policies. The Partygate scandal, which involved allegations of government staff and including Johnson himself attending parties during lockdown, damaged his credibility and led to widespread public anger. By 2022, facing mounting pressure from within his own party and the public, Boris Johnson announced his resignation as Prime Minister. His downfall was seen as both political and personal. A leader brought down not by his opponents, but by his own decisions and the loss of trust among allies. Even after stepping down, Boris Johnson remained a prominent and polarizing figure in British politics. His charisma, humor, and unpredictability continued to fascinate the media and public alike. He also returned to writing and speaking, fields in which he had always excelled. Johnson has authored several books, including works on politics, history, and personal reflections, showcasing his distinctive wit and literary flair. In his personal life, Johnson has been known for his colorful character and complicated relationships. His multiple marriages and personal controversies often made headlines, adding to his larger-than-life image. Despite these issues, many supporters still view him as a patriotic and visionary leader who reshaped Britain's political landscape. Boris Johnson's story is one of ambition, resilience, and controversy. From a journalist and entertainer to the mayor of London and finally Prime Minister, his journey reflects both the highs and lows of modern leadership. He is a man who defied conventions, captivated the public, and left an indelible mark on British history. Whether admired or criticized, Boris Johnson remains one of the most fascinating political figures of the first century, a man whose legacy will continue to be debated for decades to come.